So I'm mad. I'm freaking mad at this point. Hey guys, and welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. Today, I know I said I would be doing other content besides pregnancy content. I'm sorry, but I have not had time to get to something else, and I'm already 12 weeks, so I wanted to do a little update for you guys. So today, obviously, we will be doing a little pregnancy update, including a little story time about how I had to go to the ER, which was not fun. Spoiler alert, I'm fine, the baby's fine, so I don't want it to be like a cook baby thing. But it was not fun. It was kind of scary. Yeah, and then our gender reveal. So that will all be included in this video. That being said, if you want to skip to the gender reveal, just go ahead and skip to this time on the screen right now if you don't want to hear about the ER and everything like that. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So I had to go to the ER, which was like the least fun thing in the world while pregnant, but obviously wanted to make sure baby and I are okay. So essentially what happened was I have this thing that happens every couple of months where my heart rate will pick up and have a really, really hard time coming down. And it normally happens when I'm having an anxiety attack or when I have lifted something really, really heavy at CrossFit. So it's usually those two triggers, and my heart rate will, for example, if I'm working out and say I do like a really heavy deadlift, it's rare that this will happen, but my heart rate will go up to like 210, which my heart rate max is normally like 185, 195 when I'm working out. So when my heart rate goes above 200, that's like unheard of. I could be sprinting and my heart rate won't go to 200. So and then I'll have to kind of stop my workout, calm down. So that happens every couple months, like maybe twice a year. Well, it happened about 6 weeks ago, and then it happened again this past week. And after reading some other people's experiences, I realized I should probably definitely talk to my doctor about this. So I planned on talking to my doctor about it, but didn't get around to it. In fact, my cover for going to the doctor the day that I told Steven I was pregnant was I was going to talk to the doctor about my heart thing, and then I never ended up doing it, which I know is super irresponsible. Last week, I think it was Wednesday, I was getting ready, hilariously enough, to go get a massage. Steven, my sweet darling husband, got me a massage for my birthday, a prenatal massage with someone who's certified in prenatal massage and all that good stuff. So I was getting ready for that. So just standing upstairs, not doing anything. And I felt my heart thudding. And I can usually, like, especially feel it right here. I think that would be, what, my carotid artery. Guys, it's been so long since I've actually like taken an anatomy class, but I can feel here just thudding. And that usually gives me a clue, hey, I should probably check what my heart rate is and see what's going on. So I wear two fitness trackers. I wear my Apple Watch and then what's called a Whoop, which I've talked a little bit about. And my Whoop is actually how I know I was pregnant, which I still have to do. I've vlogged me finding out I was pregnant, and I still have to put that video together, so that is coming, I pinky promise. So I checked my Apple Watch, and sure enough, just standing there, my heart rate was 185. So I sat down for a couple minutes just to see if maybe it was a fluke from like coming down the stairs or to see what was going on. And for a good 3 to 5 minutes, I sat there and my heart rate was like 185, 190, 192, 183, just kind of staying in that range, even though I was completely sitting still. So I decided to call my doctor and talk to one of the nurses and see what they thought I should do. And they kept putting me on hold because they wanted to talk to a doctor, which kind of told me, yeah, I think this is probably not good. So eventually the nurse got back on the line with me and was like, yeah. And at this point, I'm in the car on the way to my massage appointment because I'm like, in the event that they're like, you're fine, I still want to go to my massage appointment, which was at 10 o'clock. And at this point, it's 9:50. So I'm in the car on my way to get my massage. And the nurse calls me back and is like, so I just spoke to the doctor. It sounds like something called supraventricular tachycardia. So we are gonna go ahead and send you into the ER just to make sure everything's okay, make sure the baby's okay. It's probably nothing super serious, but we'd like for you to go in. So of course then I was like, oh, so I can't go get my massage? Just joking with her. And she was like, yeah, I'd probably skip that for today. So I had to call the massage office, cancel that and move it. So now I'm getting it tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. But anyways, so I headed my little butt over to the ER with my husband, which I walked back into the house. He was on a call and I was like, hey, so could you like take me to the ER? And he just hangs up. He's like, done, go get your shoes. It was really sweet. But yeah, so we got to the ER and he was just like, out of his mind the entire time. We were sitting there for like 10 minutes and he's like, why haven't they seen you yet? This isn't okay. This isn't okay. Why haven't they seen you? Which the ER was full and they were severely, severely understaffed, as you can probably imagine. So I felt horrible for all the staff, but Steven was just like going out of his mind wanting me to get back there and get seen. So they got me back there. They did a little EKG. Everything was fine with the EKG, but they wanted to run some lab tests. So they sent me back to a room to do some lab tests. And when I tell you I have tricky veins, my veins are like a freaking labyrinth. It is horrible. I have to drink like 72 ounces of water the hour before I get my blood drawn. Otherwise, it's just a bad time for everybody. And I hate needles, which you wouldn't think because I have a decent amount of tattoos. But trust me when I say getting tattooed and tattoo needles is very different from like getting your blood drawn, getting shots, etc. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to tell you. It's completely different, a totally different sensation. I can get tattooed for hours at a time and be fine, but I have to hold somebody's hand when I'm getting my blood drawn. I told the woman, okay, I was not expecting to get my blood drawn. I am so sorry. I have really tricky veins and I've had no water today. She goes, oh, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Proceeds to, it must have been because I was super dehydrated. It was the most painful experience trying to get some of my blood to draw. So normally, right here is where they'll get me. You can even see like a little pinprick right there. So she like washed my arm all up, stabbed the needle in. It was so incredibly painful. Nothing. No blood, nothing. So she was like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to try and get your hand. So I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. It's just my hand. You guys, I was literally like under my mask. I was just like, ow. And you can probably see my hand is like black and blue from the IV, which was not fun. And they left this thing in my hand for the entire time that I was there, even though they got the blood that they needed and they went to run the test. And I felt so bad for the nurses because they were so clearly like working themselves to the bone. There were maybe 2 or 3 of them for the entire ER and the ER was overflowing with people. Like I felt horrible for them. But at this point, I hadn't eaten since like 7 a.m. It's now like 1 p.m. when they finally went to take my blood and go run the test and everything just to make sure I was okay. Because like I said, the EKG had come back normal and then I had to wait. And poor Steven was like, I have a bunch of calls. Like I'm gonna go run and get my laptop and get food and come back. So I'm like, okay, great, go for it. And I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there. And then the doctor comes back in and is like, great news. Everything looks super normal. We do think it's supraventricular tachycardia. So we'll have to have you go see a cardiologist. And of course, I'm not allowed to work out until I see the cardiologist, which I understand why. I just wish that physically things were different because I'm going insane not being able to work out. Plus now I'm like, oh my word, am I losing fitness? So then is it gonna hurt the baby if I go back and work out? What's going on? Am I gonna lose strength? I don't wanna lose strength. So, so the doctor came in, was like, okay, everything looks good. As soon as someone comes to take the needle out of your arm, you can go home. And at this point, it's 1 or 2 o'clock. I am starving. No, you know what? It was 2 o'clock. I am starving. I haven't eaten since 7 a.m. I haven't had anything to drink. I'm pregnant. I'm cranky. I've been sitting there by myself now for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, okay, cool. She was like, yep, I'm gonna go grab a nurse and then we'll be able to get you out of here. I'm like, awesome. This is amazing. You are wonderful. You are an angel sent from heaven. So then I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there and I'm still sitting there. And a half an hour goes by and Steven texts me. He's like, hey, I'm back. Should I come in? Oh my word. Where's Rachel? He texts me and he goes, hey, I'm here. Should I come back there? And I'm like, no, it's fine. The doctor said she was gonna run and grab a nurse. So I should be getting out any second. Don't worry about it. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And then they try to wheel someone into my room. And the nurse wheeling someone into my room goes, oh, looks like they were wrong. There is someone in here. And that's when I realized, I think they forgot I'm in here. So I was starting to get like a little bit angry. Like there's angry and then there's hangry. And then there's pregnant woman hangry. And then there's pregnant woman with a needle sticking out of her arm hangry. Like this was another level for me. I've not experienced anger quite at this level, which Again, I wanna make it very, very clear, I'm not upset with the nurses. They were doing their absolute best. Most of them were super, super sweet. It just like, they needed more people working or something. I don't know, I felt horrible for them. So I wanna make it very clear I'm not upset with the nurses. But just, I'm sitting there going, okay, literally all someone has to do is take a needle out of my arm, give me a piece of paper and send me home. Like, this should take 5 seconds. And they just wheeled someone into my room and literally said, oh, they were wrong. There is someone in here. So I'm mad. I'm freaking mad at this point. So I'm like, all right, the next person who walks by, I'm gonna grab them and everything will be fine. And at this point it's 2:45. So I'm like, all right, it's been 45 minutes since the doctor came in and was like, let me go grab someone. You just need to get the needle taken out of your arm and then you can go home. So I wait for another like 10 minutes and someone walks by. So I go, excuse me, tell her what's going on. I'm like, yeah, so the doctor almost an hour ago said that someone just needs to take a needle out of my arm. She said she was gonna go run and grab the nurse and I haven't seen anyone. Would you mind checking? And she goes, oh yeah, sure, that's fine. And another 15 minutes goes by and I'm like, okay, at this point, Steven's texting me going, hey, what's going on? Should I come back there? Are you okay? Did they forget about you? What is going on? And I'm pissed. I am starving. I am so freaking hungry. I have not had anything to eat or drink, and I think it was 5 hours at this point. I can't do quick math. Wait, 7 to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 8 hours. So it's like 3:10 at this point. And I'm like, I haven't eaten in 8 hours. I'm pregnant. Like, I don't like to be that person who is vocal about things. I won't even send my food back if my food is wrong unless there's like bananas on it, which I'm very allergic to bananas. So I will like have a health problem if I eat bananas. I don't even send my food back when it's wrong. I'm like, okay, this is it. I gotta jailbreak myself. So I like take all my little stickies off from the EKG machine and I like put my sweater back on. This needle is still like sticking out of my hand and I'm just trying not to move my hand in any way because it hurt like a freaking mother. And I march out of the room and I'm just like the first nurse I saw. First I went up to the desk and this woman was just sitting there looking at me on the phone. And I'm like, can you like go, hey, one sec, or like acknowledge me in some way? No, all right, that's fine. So then this nurse goes by and I grab her and I'm like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I know you guys are busy, but I've been waiting for over an hour just to get my IV taken out so I can leave. Like, it wasn't even hooked up. Like, it wasn't even an IV. It was just the needle in my arm. And she's like, yeah, hun, we're kind of busy if you didn't notice. And I'm going, yeah, they tried to wheel someone into my room. I know you guys are busy. Like, she's like, all right, you know what? Fine. Let me just grab it real quick. And it took 2 minutes. She just grabbed the needle out of my hand, which was the most painful thing. It hurt so bad. And it immediately started, like, the bandage, like, soaked with blood immediately. I was like, I hate this. I hate this so much. And yeah, it took 2 minutes. It didn't even take the full 5 minutes. It took 2 minutes. And in my head, I'm just going, I know you need this room and you can have this room if you just take the needle out of my hand and let my people go. Like, so yeah, then I got in the car and I cried because I was so sad and upset. And then my husband took me to go get Chipotle. So all in all, total first world problems. I fully understand that. But when you're pregnant and hungry and have a needle sticking out of your arm and you're cold and alone, it kind of feels like the end of the world. So I realize that that's a very simple and easy problem to have, which I am grateful for. But at the same time, it was kind of overwhelming. Now I have to go and see the cardiologist before I can continue working out, which I am trying to do as soon as possible because I'm going insane. And now the light is like, what is going on with the light? So that is pretty much that. I have not had any other episodes of SVT since then, and pretty much the reason that they're sending me to the cardiologist is just to do a quick check and make sure everything's okay. Because sometimes SVT can kind of, from what the nurse and the doctor said, kind of give you an indicator that something else could be going on. So they just want to make sure that nothing else is going on to keep me and the baby healthy. So that is that. Now, time for the gender reveal. So I did get it on video, and I will insert that in just a second here. But everyone, absolutely you know what, before I say anything, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the clip. But before that, real quick, everyone in my family, from my mom, my husband's mom, my husband, like everyone was like, it's a girl. And the entire time I was like, okay, just because everyone's saying it's a girl, it's gonna be a boy, because the same thing happened to my friend. Everyone was like, it's a boy, I know it's a boy. And I told her the day I saw her before her gender reveal, I was like, you know it's gonna be a girl just because everyone says it's gonna be a boy. And it was a girl. So I was like, okay, naturally, obviously, this is a scientific method. If everyone thinks it's gonna be one, it's naturally gonna be the other. In my head, I was like, I kind of feel like it's gonna be a boy, but I genuinely don't know, and I genuinely would be happy with anything. So I went to go to my 12-week appointment, which was last Friday, and I just mentioned it to the doctor. I had gotten the NIPT test done the Thursday before, or no, I had gotten it done the Friday before, and this was Thursday. So this was only 6 days after the NIPT test had been, like they drew my blood for the NIPT test. And everywhere I'd been seeing that it would take about 2 weeks for the results to come back. So I was with my doctor and I just decided to ask her, I was like, you know, I got my blood drawn last Friday. Do you have any idea when the results will come in? And she goes, you know what? I can actually look in your chart and see if for some reason it comes back, or oh my word, if for some reason it came back and they just didn't notify you. She goes like, click, click, click. Oh, look at that, it's in. And I'm going, oh my gosh, it's in. We're gonna find out. Steven and I were we were like dying. We're like, we feel like this whole thing is gonna feel more real once we know if the baby is a boy or a girl. So we were just over the moon, so excited. We had already been talking about names. We had decided on a girl name and we were stuck between 2 boy names. Just because Steven, like I said, was convinced it was a girl and was like, we're not gonna figure out the boy, or oh my word, I seriously cannot talk today. We're not going to need to figure out the boy names because obviously it's a girl. And he even started calling the baby the name that we picked. And I was like, okay, hold on, compadre, let's reel it in a little bit, like dial it back just a touch, because we truly don't know. So my doctor was like, do you want to know the sex of the baby? And I was like, well, can you like write it down and put it in an envelope? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I got out of my appointment and this is the ultrasound picture. Look at this. The baby was super, super active. I'll insert a little video here, but the baby was just like kicking around, moving around. The doctor was like, I know it seems crazy that you can't feel that. Soon you'll be able to feel it, but look at all this movement. Like elbows, knees, kicking, punching, like so much movement, which was crazy to see. Like it's so crazy to see this tiny little bean moving around. Like not just sitting there, like the last 2 times I had ultrasounds, the baby was just kind of chilling, not doing anything because they can't really do much. But this time, holy crap, the baby was moving so much and it was really, really crazy. So I got out of my appointment and I called my sister-in-law and I was like, all right, I'm gonna need your help. We scheduled a time. We were able to, with our group chats with the families, figure out a time that everyone could be there. We decided we were doing it that day. I was like, I can't wait. We are not waiting. We're just gonna go ahead and do this thing. So we found a time for everyone to be able to get together, socially distance outside, of course, and watch us blow off our little confetti cannons. And so my sister-in-law came, picked up the balloons to get filled. We got this kit online that had 2 confetti cannons in blue and 2 confetti cannons in pink. It was like a little kit. So then it was up to her to pick the right color cannon, take the little sticker off that said the color. And yeah, so I know I said I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna go ahead and play the clip, but now with all that lead up, I will go ahead and play the clip.
You did get this right, Lauren, right?
I did, I double checked because I was worried.
What am I doing?
I swapped them last minute just to throw off the confusion.
Whole top section with one.
We're gonna get.
I wanted to do a quick video of what everyone thinks it is.
Do you want everyone's reaction? Do you want me to back up?
I think it's a
Yeah.
Real quick.
All right. What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be?
It's gonna be a girl.
What's it gonna be?
girl.
Happy with either, but girl.
I have no idea. I don't have a guess.
Girl.
Everyone says girl. It's unanimous. Boy?
Yeah.
All right.
Happy with either, but girl.
Okay, all right, are we good?
What do you guys think?
I don't have a guess.
Do you want me to back up further to get everyone's reaction, or
No,
sure,
no,
just
it's
you?
fine.
All right,
Fine.
just you guys.
All right, are you ready?
One.
One. Wait, are we going on 3 or after 3? Oh my gosh, come on.
On 3.
Okay, 1, 2.
Are you colorblind?
Okay. That's exciting.
Yay! Oh my gosh, okay, I kind of feel like I knew it.
So it's a boy. We are so excited. So you can tell Steven's kind of like, what? Because he just knew it was gonna be a girl. He just knew it was gonna be a girl. So he's so excited, but in the video you can tell he just was not expecting that at all, and it's really funny. So we are pumped, we are thrilled, we are over the moon, and it does feel more real now that we know that the baby's a boy. We have it narrowed down to 2 names. I am not gonna share them just yet. I'll probably wait until the baby's born to share the name, just because everyone has an opinion about names. Like, every single person could be like, oh, I knew so-and-so in high school and they sucked. They shoved me into lockers and stole my lunch money, or whatever the case may be. So we're just gonna keep that to ourselves for now. But yeah, so that is the update on what has been going on with me and a little baby boy. So very exciting stuff. I'm going to try to do some non-pregnancy related content coming up here pretty soon. I just really don't feel like putting on makeup a lot of the time, so it's difficult for me to find times to film that my husband's not in the house, because I just feel awkward filming when my husband's in the house. I don't know what it is. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your experiences have been, or if you felt one way or the other as to if my baby was going to be a girl or a boy, or any similar stories that you have. I would love to know if anyone has had it where family was dead set on it's a boy or it's a girl 100%, and then it actually turned out that way. Because I've only ever heard of it being the opposite, which obviously I was joking that it's a scientific method earlier. Please understand, I do not actually think that's the scientific method. Sample sizes are a thing, people. But anyways, I would love to hear anyone's experiences. Make sure you subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my pregnancy content. I also do a lot of story times. I do ADHD content, productivity content, a lot of different things. And I'm thinking about maybe trying to do Vlogmas. Probably not, because for the life of me, I cannot turn out content on a weekly basis, let alone a daily basis. So we'll have to see on that. But all right, that's it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.